Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome to Saeed TV and welcome back to another live stream for you guys. I've got the main man Lee back again, man. Did you think sooner? Last we were talking about Pogba, Pochettino. Little did we know Messi was around the corner. I don't think we discussed it, did we, Lee, about Messi at all? We didn't.
No, we didn't. And I think this just goes to show, Saeed, that a week is a hell of a long time in football. We were here last Tuesday, as you said, talking Pogba. And no, Messi didn't come into the equation because we all thought that deal was going to go through with Barcelona. And, well, here we are a week later.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Welcome to the show, Lee. If you're watching on Twitch, big up to everybody on Twitch. Make sure you follow me over there, Saeed TV _ Big up to the guys over at Twitch. And obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe if you are new. Lee, Messi's on the verge of joining PSG. You know what I mean? Did you, in your wildest dreams, did you think this was possibility? Any hope? Because obviously you've had a good window so far, minus Eddie Messi. You've had a good window. But did you think in your wildest dreams that Messi would be joining PSG?
No, I didn't. No, not at all. As I said, the noise coming out of Barcelona was this guy, was going to sign a new deal. This is what we expected to happen.
Yeah.
We knew there was a few formalities that needed sorting out. There was some issues around that, but they would find a way. They would be able to, lower that wage bit, and he would see out his career, the rest of his career at Barcelona. There was discussions that he was going to take a wage cut that was going to kind of pay him for the next 5 years. He was going to sign a 5-year deal. So PSG kind of completely closed the door because you never can. But we're looking at targets, and that kind of centered on our discussion last week around Pogba and around doing some stuff around certainly the left back position or the positions in the team. And then obviously the news broke to the world on Thursday night, and just knowing what I know around PSG, I just knew that there would certainly be first at the door, knocking at that door straight away, saying, "Hey, we're ready to go. We'll find a way." And that's exactly what they've done. And let's be honest, say PSG have been really the only team in the mix for him. There's been no other options. But I'm again from what I've been told is that Messi, as soon as Barcelona knew that they couldn't do the deal, and they broke that on their social media site last week, that Messi actually got in touch with Pochettino and said, "It's not going to happen. I'm ready. I'm ready to come to Paris." So I think this was always the second option for him ahead of anywhere else.
Absolutely. I think even for the world of football, we're still in shock. Barcelona, all we've ever known is Barcelona at Messi at Barcelona. That's all we've ever known. And I think for everyone, just in general, it's kind of a bit of a shock. But what's the perception like in Paris? The feel around the club. How excited are they about it all? Because even they must have thought, this is now or never, isn't it? To go and get him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've not been over to Paris, obviously, in the last few days since, the news is broken. But I've certainly got a lot of people that I know that I work with, and people that I'm pretty close to. They're on the ground and around the stadium. I've been constant dialogue with them over the last 48 hours. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, this is a once in a lifetime deal that you can do for, let's be honest, we're talking one of the true greatest of all time players. I mean, there's it's debatable who you would put in your order of 1, 2, 3. But let's be honest, if you're doing a 1 and a 2 or a 1, 2, 3, then Messi's probably going to be within that. He is one of the true greats of football, and to be able to get him is just massive for the club. But not just that. I mean, we're talking about the investment that's been made into him. Yes, there's a transfer fee, but there's a lot of money that's gone into signing on fees and everything that goes with the wages and everything else. It goes with tempting a player of this caliber to the club. But the fact that he's 34 and he's and even though so much money has been invested into him, nobody's talking about his age. I think that's testament to what he's doing and the quality that he still displays even at this stage of his career.
Yeah, and obviously people are talking about FFP and all that. I mean, his wages are incredible. I think someone saying today he's going to be making about $1 million a week, which is phenomenal. You know what I mean? Just how are PSG going to finance this? Obviously, they do make a lot of money anyway with Qatar owners, rich owners, but I mean, are they going to have to kind of balance the books anywhere? Is FFP going to get involved? Are they going to try and find out what's going on in the club? How are they going to manage this? It's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an awful lot of money, absolutely. But they did. I mean, there's some things that I think are really important that we touch on here in regards to FFP. First and foremost, FFP has been relaxed, and new rules will come into play. And I know that UEFA are certainly due to discuss FFP and the future of FFP and how that's going to work for the clubs across Europe in due course. But as it stands right now, PSG have tapped into a little bit of a loophole. Look, there's ways around FFP. There's loopholes, but it's about whether you've got smart enough people at your club to be able to find those loopholes. But there are, and also PSG are very, very savvy commercially, and some of the sponsorship deals PSG have been able to pull out of late have been incredible. I mean, today, if you, I'd urge everybody to go to PSG's website. Literally, this afternoon they've been putting out teasers for Messi coming, and then they put out a statement and then they put out a statement that they have agreed a new sponsorship deal in South America, believe it or not. So they're very, very smart. They're very, very smart people. They know what they're doing. Their timing's always impeccable, and they've always got kind of like 2 or 3 steps ahead. So that's why they've been able to do these kind of deals really without the influence of Qatari funds. The sponsorship deals that they do are very, very smart and savvy.
Even looking at it today, I think there's a crisp, the Lay's crisp. Apparently they've got a Messi crisp. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
If you look at it, I was seeing it online just there before. There's actually a Lay's crisp. We have, English Walkers, it's got one for Messi, which I just find absolutely incredible. And it just goes to show the magnitude.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It just shows you the magnitude of what kind of player you've actually got. You know what I mean? And for PSG to have a player like Messi, you've had greats in the past, Ronaldinho. You know what I mean? What does this signing rank for you in terms of your kind of like, you've been watching PSG all your life, and where does this rank for you in terms of signings?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. I started watching PSG many, many years ago. We're talking, we've been started watching PSG about 26 years ago. So, I've seen the bad times, the real bad times, and I've seen some real great times as well. I think one of the real blockbuster signings certainly was Ronaldinho. When we talk about the early 2000s of Ronaldinho, he was still relatively unknown when he came from Gremio, and it was only kind of like when he built his reputation in Europe, so he wasn't ready-made. Moving ahead, I think 2012, when we look at the unveiling of Zlatan Ibrahimovic at the Eiffel Tower, the big crowd there, sunny day, he looked the part. It was, PSG had been taken over by Qataris a year before. It was a massive statement signing for the club, in terms of, right, this is what we're going to start attracting. We want you to dream bigger. We're really going to push on the club now. So that was huge. And then 2017, we had Neymar and Mbappe literally 4 weeks apart, both signing for the club. Massive, huge statement that summer as well. That was a real blockbuster. And for anyone that was in Paris at the time, it was, it just kind of got the hairs on the back of your neck standing up. It was like, we really mean business. This is different. This is really different because this is a guy who's just an absolute superstar,
phenomenon,
all over the world. This is a guy that every club in the world would want. Anybody who knows football knows Messi. People that even don't know football know Messi. He's huge, and he's one of those things that nobody ever thought he could be tempted away from Barcelona. And we know that things have gone on in the boardroom there that have led to what's happened, and him coming to PSG, and that's a different story. But this is the biggest of the big. This is huge. You've got people at the airport. You've got kids and and families waiting at the stadium, and he's not even there.
I know they came a bit early, didn't they?
It was home, and you got people just crowding out the airports, crowding out the stadium, filling the streets before he even got there. So make no mistake, when he makes his debut, I mean, the Parc des Princes just going to erupt. It really is.
Parc des Princes, what a place, what an arena. What a
Yeah.
kind of a feeling, it's going to be. I mean, just, I think, do you reckon this is what PSG kind of needed? Because, the Neymar and Mbappe one, that was, you know what I mean? It was absolutely unbelievable signings. But this one almost takes PSG to a world level. When you get in the likes of South America now, will get involved in PSG. Like, PSG were on the map, but it's kind of almost now that, you know what I mean? Imagine they do a preseason tour next summer. Neymar, obviously Mbappe, we'll find out, but Neymar, Messi, touring around the world, the amount of revenue, the amount of interest in PSG as a whole. I mean, it's going to be absolutely incredible. Like the global scale that PSG are going to be on, it's going to be crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you can see that already. I mean, my understanding is that, within 48 hours, there's 1.5 million new followers to PSG's social media accounts,
Wow.
from all over the world. So, in terms of social media, huge, and generally just people engaging the club around the world. A lot of people believe, certainly close to the club, Messi's transfer will pay for itself.
What? Yeah,
obviously
true.
no fee attached, but his wages and everything that comes with it will pay. It'll pay for itself just through shirt sales. Commercial deals, having a player of that magnitude at the club. So yeah, this is a massive game change, and this is what I was saying earlier, how it feels different to the Neymar deal and Mbappe deal in 2017, different to Ibrahimovic in 2012. This is going to just kind of be earth-shattering for the club and propel them onto the next level. And as I said to you before, look, Paris Saint-Germain are not Manchester United. They're not a Barcelona. They're not a Real Madrid in terms of European standing historically. PSG know their place. The fans are not deluded. They know
of course,
their place. But they want to rank amongst the very best. They want to make their own history. They want to be able to, this is the club that's only 51 years old.
I know.
Exactly. People have got parents older than the club. They were formed in 1970.
True.
So but they want to make some of their history of their own, and they're well placed to do so. But this is where it's all great signing these players, Saeed, but now, that adds an extra pressure. Now you have to go out and win.
Oh, listen.
So, the hard work starts now.
I'm gonna have to tell people why Poch, could fail, and why, I've got to do it at the end of the season. I've got to wear a shirt saying, Pochettino, because a lot of people say that, what has Poch won and what has he done and da-da-da-da, but they've got to win everything now. We were talking last week about, kind of winning the Premier League, Champions League, now it's a kind of win everything, quadruple, the whole lot. Like, you've got the best in the world, you've got every department, you're looking unbelievable. There's the pressure on Poch. Oh my God. Like, if he gets sacked, he'll know. He'll be like, I'm walking out the door. You don't have to sack me. I've not done anything here. But again, what an opportunity as well for Poch, on the other hand, to kind of build his name and kind of almost like conquer Europe for the next couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, it must be a real strange feeling for him if you think, cast your mind back 8 weeks or so. He was heavily linked with going back to Tottenham. There was some issues, some internal issues with the sporting director, Leonardo, and he's looking to go back to Tottenham. He was linked with Real Madrid. There was, real kind of move. It seemed like there was real movement on whether he would stay there or not. People were very, very unsure, and now we're in a position whereby he's managing Messi and, out of nothing. Yeah. So, I mean, what a couple of months for him. But the pressure is on. And we know that he's, he isn't trophy laden. He hasn't won. He doesn't have a plethora of trophies on his, in his cabinet. But he's got the ability. He's got the know-how to really drive on and make something of this team. But now he's got to start delivering. And that's the one criticism that's always been aimed at him, is getting over the line. He didn't do it in title race last season, and there were other factors around that as to why he didn't. But I do believe that this is a season where he can't have any excuses. But what he has got to do is find an identity in this team, because for the last 6 months of last season, when he did come, there was no real playing identity of the team. It was kind of give it to Neymar, give it to Mbappe, and see what they can do. Now he's got to create an identity. He's got to get this team playing. He's got to really, playing with style, with panache, with flair. He has to. So he has to. He can't play any other type of football apart from, really great, fluid attacking football. He's got to get results and he's got to win. So he has to win domestically, which is an expectation, but he's now to get over the line in the Champions League.
And he's got to win, and he's got to win in a manner that's that's appreciated by the fans. Especially when you got the level of footballers here that you've got. I mean, someone asked the guest if he thinks Poch will be able to deal with the egos. I mean, you've only got Messi, but then you've also got his arch rival before called Ramos. You've got a European winner in Donnarumma. You've got that. For me, I looked at the game yesterday. I mean, on Friday was it? And I thought Navas. A lot of people disrespect Navas. He made about 3 or 4 world-class saves, and I'm thinking there's a lot of positions here. He's out. Mbappe keeping him sweet, making him feel like you're still one of our guys. Where do you fit in Di Maria? Where do you fit in a lot of these players? It's like almost like it's going to be full of winners in there. Do you reckon Pochettino can do that? Has he got the right feeling? It's a big task, isn't it?
Massive task, yeah. It's going to be one of the really biggest things he's going to have to kind of get around. We're talking, PSG has taken the captain of Real Madrid and the captain of Barcelona in the same transfer window. He's taken Donnarumma. I mean, just you've seen him in the Euros. Again, another big personality, big ego. Will potentially be one of the best goalkeepers in the world, if not already. We as I said, there's always the players that are already there. There's Neymar, there's Mbappe. Does Mbappe want to be in the shows? He doesn't want to be the main man. He wants to be number one.
Lee? Is he frozen? Yeah, it's frozen. Yeah.
Sorry.
Lee?
Can you hear me now? I'm back. Sorry. I don't
yeah, you're back. You're back. No worries.
Okay. No, I was just saying that it's going to be a huge task for him dealing with the ego. Is probably the biggest task of his career, and I just hope that certainly for him, he can do it. He can, he's got a good team behind him. He's got the backing of the board, and I believe the backing of the players from certainly what we've seen last season is that the players like him. They like his methods. They like playing under him. It's a very family feel. He's a likable coach, and it remains to be seen. But hopefully he can be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it feels like a Galactical era. Because and a lot of people said that the Galacticos didn't really win anything, but it almost feels like a new Galactical era. That's it's never been forced upon. I think they've done it. Mbappe, Neymar. It's kind of measured. It's not like Real Madrid where they just bought all their players all in one go. If you go and buy Pogba next summer and Camavinga, it's almost like feels like a Galactical era. You know what I mean? And how exciting is that for you? Feeling that you're gonna have the best players in the world at your club. Is it a weird feeling that did you want it to be like this? Where because obviously you've seen the club. When they didn't win things and they were almost like starting up. Like, do you prefer it like this, or do you prefer it? Through this way where you can see the best players in the world. You only live once, right? You know what I mean? You rather see your best team having the best players, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's great to have some of the best players in the world playing at the club where you can just kind of literally go in, watch them, and see some of these stars that are going to be, talked about for years to come. That's great, but ideally, you want a team that's winning and it's going to go on and win big things. So it's great having big names, but you think back to Galacticos era of Real Madrid, they didn't win an awful lot for the team that they had. They really didn't win that much. They weren't They didn't win the Champions League. So it can work both ways, really. So that what you want is, okay, it's great to have great players, but you've got to be able to gel, you've got to be able to work as a team, and you've got to be able to have a cohesive unit. If you can do that, then you've got a great chance of going on and winning things. Brilliant for, obviously, having great players, great for shirt sales, it's great commercially, it's great, to sell tickets and put bombs on seats. That's fantastic. Yeah. But if there's no trophies to show for it, then, ultimately that's what these players are signed for.
Yeah, and you touch on it there commercially, wow, PSG, Jordan, Nike. I know is he sponsored by Adidas? Messi, I think he is sponsored by Adidas, but just in general, like the whole feeling around, the whole feeling commercially for the club, for the area, for French league football. I mean, how mad is this going to be that you have the best. Maybe you might have the talent staying now in the French league because they want to play against Messi. maybe that's a good feeling for football in the French league, that they'll want to stay because they feel like the club's growing. The French league is growing. People want to come here. You know, what I mean, you might see an evolution of it of top players maybe arriving in the French league. It's good news, surely.
It would be good. I mean, yeah, absolutely, it would be good. I think French league will always be a league that primarily goes to homegrown talent and will look to their academy first and foremost. Their method of operating has always been, create players, bring them through the system and sell them on. I don't think that's going to change, and my reasons for that is because of, again, what we spoke about last week in terms of the collapse of the TV deal. Now, the massive issue here, the biggest problem for the other 19 clubs in the league is that the collapse of the TV deal and the renegotiation of Amazon Prime. For those people that don't know, Amazon Prime are now the primary broadcasters in France, and basically got it for a real cut price deal. It's just a shame that deal wasn't negotiated after the signing of Messi, which would have brought a lot more interest.
How long have they got for it?
It's 3 years. It's 3 years. So by the time the tender goes out next time and the rights can be negotiated, Messi's time at PSG will probably be up. So it's a real shame that the other 19 teams won't really be able to benefit from the deal from it. But as I said, it's great that the clubs are now going to get fans back in stadiums, and everybody's going to benefit from having Messi in the league. So onwards and upwards, and it's great for Ligue, and it's great for France. It's great for everybody that's going to play against him. I'm sure they'll all respect that, and it's something they can tell the grandkids, I'm sure, for a lot of these players.
Well, I mean, you're looking at the kids that I see in the pictures and the videos. There was a lot of young kids that were there. You know what I mean? What a feeling. I mean, imagine that your dad telling you, come and support PSG, and the next thing you know, you've got Messi on your doorstep. You know what I mean? It's not a bad life, is it? People say League One is a farmers' league. How come they produce the best talent in the world? How do you assess that? Because a lot of people say that the French league is a farmers' league. What do you say to them people? Because I mean, I like the French league, and I'm gonna watch it again this season because I like the talent in there. I was looking at the Troyes, and you know what, man, they were a good technical team. They gave PSG a game. What do you say to them people that call it a kind of a farmers' league?
Yeah, I don't really see any. I can't really discuss something with somebody on a level. If somebody's calling other football a farmers league, I think it's disrespectful to the league and the talent that's
absolutely
in it. We know how much talent comes from the French league and is able to adapt and go around, especially the Premier League. You don't forget some of the greatest players in the Premier League history have come from France. We can't say that. Is it as strong as the Premier League? It isn't. Is there as much money in the Ligue as the Premier League? No, we know that, and no one's ever doubting that. But the fact is, there's some great talent in that league. Really, really good talent. And again, going back to the initial question from the viewer, is that why do they create so much talent? It's because they have to rely on their youth system. And these players have to come through the youth system because they can't go and spend 30-40 million, with the exception of Paris Saint-Germain, can't spend that kind of money buying ready-made players are ready to go. They have to use their youth systems and sell them on. That it will always be the case in France, and that's why so much French talent comes through. That their national team is so good, and they keep creating wonderful talents over there. So yes, it might not be the strongest league, but their national team benefits from it, and so does the Premier League, Serie A, and so many other European leagues benefit from the level of quality that comes through the youth system. So when people say farmers league, that's your prerogative, but just do what you're doing, Saeed. Take a little bit of interest in it, try and find out a little bit about it, and you'll find some real diamonds in that league, because there are.
Yeah. Absolutely, and a lot of people, if you look at the Premier League over the years, if they didn't really kind of get the foreign imports, what would them clubs be? I mean, let's be honest, and that's the kind of stark difference. England have produced a lot of talent, you know what I mean, but they do rely heavily on foreign imports, and the French league has been massive apart. Someone says here, Hazard, Nasri, Henry, Mahrez. These guys have come for pennies. I think Mahrez came for about 400k, I think it was, from Le Havre.
That's right. Yeah.
So a lot of
Kante,
these guys, Kante as well. There's so many players, but the French league I think the French league, what I like about them, they have this ideology that we can sell this guy because we'll get another one. And that's the difference. It's almost like they're remaking the teams or the players. And I think for me, that is unbelievable. I really do. And that's what I love about it. And you've seen it now already with the team. France have got about 2-3 different teams that they can play in World Cups or Euros.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Saeed. And I think the mentality is very different in France as well, because young players are happy to go abroad at 18, 19. Just look at Camavinga. Even he's kind of ready to, either go to PSG or go with United or Madrid or wherever it is. These guys are young. They don't, they're young. They'll have a couple of years in France. They're happy to go and play elsewhere. But also, it's a very physical league. Very, very physical. Messi's going to find that out very quick. That this is a very physical league. They're very unforgiving in that league, and this is why a lot of these players that play in Ligue 1 can go and play in the Premier League and adapt very quickly. The level of quality is higher, absolutely. The level of competition, the pace is higher in the Premier League. We know that, but when it comes to the physical side of the game, when it comes to the technical side of the game, they're ready and primed.
Absolutely. I think as well, that was the next question I was going to ask you. How will Messi find the French league? For those who don't watch really the French league, how will he find it? Because I think it's similar to the Premier League in terms of its pace. Like you said, a lot of teams, players have adapted to the Premier League. How do you reckon he'll find it in terms of the physicality, the kind of the technical football? Will he get along with it? Will he enjoy it? Well, what's your kind of feeling on that?
I think he'll get on better than what Neymar has done. And, Neymar's the type of player that, is a street footballer, likes to do all the party tricks. And because of that, he'll really get the physical side of it. He gets a lot of kicks and, a lot of fouls against the most player in the league by a long way. Messi will be different. I think Messi will command a completely different level of respect. I don't think he will... he will feel the physicality compared to his experience in Spain for the majority of his career. So it will be different for him. I think he'll cope with it fine. I think he'll show his magic. I think he'll show his quality. I think there'll be absolutely bursts and moments of magic from him. I think he'll get respect from opposing crowds, even in Marseille, which is, I'd say to anyone here, when there's a PSG Marseille game on, and that will be in October, stick it on. It's a hell of an experience even to watch on the TV. But I think he'll even command a bit of respect in Marseille, and that's really tough to get when you wear a PSG shirt. But it's going to be really interesting viewing. I think he'll take to the league. I think the issue won't be him taking, in terms of his change to league. The issue there, if anything, that is going to come up will be his adaptation to it City. He's been in Barcelona since he was 13 years old. He knows the city. It's his city since he left Argentina. And, that adaptation to living in France, which is culturally different, the climate's a little bit different. It's the people that are very, very different. So it's that. So look, he's going to have his family, he's going to have his kids with him, and I feel that it's going to take him a little bit of time off the pitch to get used to life in Paris. But on the pitch, I think he'll hit the ground running.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people in the question are asking for a kind of an Excel. Do you have an Excel in mind before we do one right now? I've got an app which basically gives you a formation. Have you got anything in mind, your general team, or do you need a bit of help?
No, what in terms of PSG, where I see PSG's team, I think eventually, as I said to you last week, I think Donnarumma will be the undisputed number one. Which hurts me because I love Navas, but I think he'll be the undisputed number one as we get towards the end of the season. Sure. I see either a back three or I'm going to go. I see a back three, and that back three being Kimpembe, Marquinhos, and Ramos when he's fit. I see two wing backs.
Shall we do it now? Shall we do it now here?
We
I'll
could,
get the
let's do
team
that.
up
Let's do it
here.
now. Let's go.
We'll get the team up here.
I'd go for like a three centre backs. Unless you want to do a 4-4-2, I can 4-4-2 it.
It's up to you. No, we can change the formation here. Let me just go here. Formation. Let's go with a 3-5-2. Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay, so Donnarumma definitely in goal back there. So we 100% we have Donnarumma.
Okay, let me just see if I can add him here. Donnarumma, if that's how you spell it. Can you see that, by the way? Can everyone see that, by the way, in the comments?
No, don't.
Can anyone see that? Is that too small, or can anyone see that? Did I pick a 3-5-2, by the way, or did I pick a 3-5-2? That's a 3-5-2 now. You got the wing backs, but I don't know why the wing backs are so
with the
wing.
Quite high up on. There we go, mate. Yeah, about there.
There we go. There we go. You know what I mean? It's 3-5.
Yeah. Do you know? I tell you what I'd do. Yeah. So let's have a look at how this would run. I would probably pull one of your centre back. Can we pull? Just have one up top.
Sorry,
just bring one of the centre forward. Yeah. Can we just pull one of the centre backs just behind? Because that's where I'm going to put Messi. I'm going to put Messi where he is there. So just a little bit behind. The centre forwards.
Yeah. Right there.
Perfect. Yeah. And then the centre forward will. Yeah, just straight in front of the AM. Yeah, just right up top. Perfect. That's perfect.
Cool.
Okay, so we've got Donnarumma down there. What I'd like to do,
who do you want?
There,
right centre back.
What we're going to do is right centre back. Oh, we're going to go there. I'm going to say there Ramos. So Sergio Ramos there.
Ramos. Cool.
Yeah. Just to the in the centre, we'll go with Marquinhos.
Marquinhos, ever present.
Yeah. Absolutely, captain. And then Kimpembe right there.
Kimpembe. You still rate him? You know what I mean? He had a bit of a dodgy first game, didn't he? You know what I mean? It was a bit of a...
He did indeed. To be fair to him, he came back, no real pre-season. He had a week's training and jumped straight back in because PSG, as you know, is still light. There's a lot of players coming back from internationals. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but he's got to up his game this year for sure. Left wing back, Bernat. Now Bernat's been out for a year. He's been out for a year with a knee injury, so he's literally due to come back in September. He's working hard, and he's been very, very missed. So look forward to getting him back in.
He's different because Diallo was a bit of a shaky, wasn't he? He didn't really play good on the last game. He was a bit of a, I think Pochettino was mad at them when they were kept,
Yeah, you're right, Saeed. It wasn't his best game, but he is predominantly a centre back who's filling in at left back just because we've been so kind of bare. We're down to the bare bones at left back position. I mean, you ask any PSG fan, I think he'd rather have Diallo there than Cazorla. So, Diallo is
exactly.
Diallo's the one. But yes,
right wing back.
He's not the best. Oh, Hakimi! It speaks for itself.
Hakimi, what a game! What an absolute!
Great goal the other day. You see his goal?
What a goal! What a goal! Unbelievable. I mean, how many goals can he get you this season?
How many goals will he get this season? He can get a few because he gets forward. He gets into great positions and he can finish. He can really, really finish. So, he's going to be my player to actually, he'll be my player to watch this season for PSG. A really great signing and someone in a position that PSG have really struggled for a long, long time. So, right, can I just change the midfield? Can I bring two centre midfielders in there? Can you bring one of those?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Bring one of those. And then what we'll do is we'll move. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That's perfect. And that sentiment. That's it. Lovely. Right. In this midfield area, can we have Verratti, of course, the king of Paris.
I can't believe he's still got him. Bloody hell.
Yeah. Oh, he'll never leave. He's Parisian now. He's more Parisian than he is Italian. We'll have him there. And can we stick? And we're going to go in here, Gini Wijnaldum in there for now because so we'll go for Wijnaldum. We'll stick him in 11 now because I do believe No, I do believe that there could be some further activity in that midfield area. I don't think this transfer window over yet for PSG.
Oh,
So
you're
we'll
gonna
put
give us
them
some
in.
exclusive?
I think there'll be a last. I think there'll be a last ditch bid for Camavinga, and because he's.
Oh,
I really do. I think it'll be literally the last day of the window, because if they don't sell him and no one's bid for him yet, if Rennes don't sell him, then he goes for free next summer. So I
I
think
know.
PSG will go for a top price on him then. I think it's different. I think they'd rather have Pogba. I really do. I think
Yeah.
PSG would rather have Pogba than Camavinga, but I think it's more likely that Pogba renews with United than Camavinga renews with Rennes. So I think there
Oh,
could
that
be a
is true.
deal for
Yeah.
Camavinga. There could be, and
What
I
about
know
Paredes? You don't really
already that
fancy him?
no, I do. I think he offers something completely different. I don't think he will be the designated starting centre midfielder, but he certainly will be within the plans of PSG, and
Yeah.
he'll have he'll have a role to play for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
In terms of my two attacking midfield, I'm going to go for Neymar and Messi. You can put them obviously
Yeah.
wherever you like. So they're Neymar and Messi,
Yeah.
which
We'll go with
means
Messi here.
Di Maria misses out.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. So this is an embarrassment of riches that this club has, and then obviously Kylian up top, which means no Icardi,
Wow.
no place
What a
now for
team.
Moise Kean, who won't now Moise Kean, no chance of coming back to the club. And
Mm.
there's your what as it stands right now. That's probably what I can see the team being.
Jeez. Now let's run through the team. We've got in goal, you've got Donnarumma in goal. You've got, you know what I mean, world renowned Ramos, you know what I mean? That left. I can't believe that Ramos one has gone down under the radar. I think a lot of people haven't realized PSG have got Ramos. You know, it's
Yeah,
crazy. You know,
yeah,
that
yeah.
it's madness. Like, when is he back fit, by the way? When is he back and ready?
Well, we just he's going to miss up to the first months. He's going to be out for a couple of months with his calf injury.
Mm.
He's got injury problems. He can't get fit. That news broke today, by the way. So he's having this
Oh, is
calf
it?
complaint that he's had. He's really struggling with it. Again, he's going to be out for a couple of months. So it is as you were at centre back. We've still got Kimpembe, Marquinhos. Lucera played really well the other day, strangely.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But there'll be a place for him when he comes back. And what will be
Yeah.
great to see him and Messi, foes for so long on the pitch,
I
opposite ends
know.
of the El Clasico, now in the same
Yeah.
team. So both captains for Real Madrid and Barcelona last season, now as teammates. That's going to be really,
Yeah.
really interesting.
Absolutely. So you got Ramos, Marquinhos. I mean, what a player Marquinhos is. Kimpembe,
Yeah.
Hakimi, unbelievable. Bernat, unbelievable. You've got Verratti and Gini Wijnaldum. How do you reckon these guys will work? You've got a lot of energy in there, haven't you? I don't think you'll get out running that midfield with them two in there.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a lot, as you said, of energy, a lot of good legs in there. Got two players that will give everything, fight tooth and nail. Got a lot of creativity in Verratti. Gini Wijnaldum likes to arrive late in the box. Can chip in with a few goals here or there. And we've got two midfields that offer. Neither once offer two completely different things, because what we've actually got in the club is players like Idrissa Gana Gueye, Paredes, players like Ander Herrera, who pretty much all do the same job. It's nice to have a little bit of something different within that team.
Absolutely. And then you've got Messi and Neymar, 34 and 29. I mean, talk about creativity. Talk about, finding an opener. These guys will be heaven, you know what I mean? Part of the princess, what a kind of a feeling, to watch these two grace the field. It feels like it's a FIFA game, this, but it's happening in real life, Neymar and Messi
exactly.
together.
As well, people have been saying it's like a FIFA cheat code. People have been saying today, but it is going to be unbelievable. The great thing about it is nobody needs to say, "Well, I wonder how these two are going to play together," because they've already played together and they've won a Champions League together. They're really close friends. They're absolutely excited to play, in the same team again with each other. And it's going to be it's going to be crazy to see these guys in action. It's really is, and then we forget about the guy up top, the phenomenon, the young pretender to the Ballon d'Or crown, the guy who's going to,
Yeah.
they're going to, these two, Neymar and Messi are going to pass the baton on to this guy up front. And yes, we know he's not going to be at the club forever, but if we can get another couple of seasons out of him, then we could be seeing some real magic in the next couple of years.
Yeah, then you've got Mbappe up front. I mean, Icardi's on the bench. Is he? I mean, he's a player who's not really shone, but again, he won't mind it, because as long as he's playing Messi, a chance to win a trophy in Champions League. I mean, he's going to be happy as it is, isn't it? On the bench, surely.
Yeah, I mean, Icardi's quite, apart from the first season where he was excellent, but that season he didn't really kind of kick off in Paris, and it's not really gone for him. I'm not sure he's actually going to be in Paris by the time we get to the end of the transfer window. I look at, he was a former Inter Milan captain. There were some issues there, and Inter Milan, I'm hearing, are looking for a striker again, because they're pretty much losing their main man, aren't they? So.
Yeah,
there's been some interest from Italy. It wouldn't surprise me to see him go. It wouldn't surprise me, but then you have a problem, because you're going to need another striker again. You're going to need a backup. So I think there'll be one or two being shipped out before the end of the transfer window for sure. They've still got to balance the books to a point, and Icardi could be one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what a team! I think I mean, I don't know if you get excited, but you are going. Are you going to the first game of the season? When do you reckon Messi will get to play?
Yeah, I think at the earliest. Again, I'm not sure how much pre-season stuff. Obviously, because he went to the Copa America. Well, he's probably not done anything apart from his own training, because he didn't have a club.
Yeah,
his contract with Barcelona ran out
I know.
so he didn't have a club. So he's got a pre-season that he needs to do. I think at the earliest it will be the game against Stade de Reims, which will be the last game before the international break. Alternatively, the first game after the international break, which is set at the moment for the 12th of September. And that's against newly promoted team Clermont, who won the other day against Bordeaux. That'll be a home game, and that's when I believe that he will probably make his debut. So I think he needs to get there. He needs to get his fitness up and get ready for the season first.
Absolutely, what a feeling it is. I mean, at the stadium, and I feel like around the club. It's an exciting time for PSG. I mean, it leaves a question for Pogba. You said you kind of have a feeling that Man United might give him a new contract. Do you reckon it's the aim, maybe go in again next season on a free? Would they kind of miss the opportunity again? They might lose Mbappe. They might want a kind of a replacement of such quality. I mean, why not Pogba? What's your feeling around PSG? Are they still interested, or?
Yeah, very much interested in Pogba. That's not this. Stance on Pogba has not changed. I remember having this discussion with you last week, saying that PSG, if they're going to do it, they need to get it over the line now. So that's something that I felt that they needed to do now, because the likelihood is that other teams will be interested in it next season. When if he was to run his contract down. However, obviously, the game-changing situation with the signing of Leo Messi, PSG have pretty much told Pogba, run your contract down and come and see us, come to us on a free next season. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. I think there's two options for Pogba. Really, is extend at United, and get your final big contract at United and see your career out there, or you go to PSG, you run your contract down and you go to PSG next season, waiting for you with Mbappe, with Neymar, with Messi, with a midfield with Verratti next to you in midfield. It's whether he would be tempted, whether he can say, can he resist the temptation of playing in a star-studded team like that, or does he want to stay at United, which is alternative, still an excellent option. United, for me, have bought well this summer, and and I'm looking to see United push on this year and hopefully do bigger and better things this season. So he's going to have to think very carefully about what he does, and if he decides not to renew his contract at United, it's going to be very interesting in terms terms of the way the fans. We know that some people are pro Pogba. We know that some people are, are not huge fans of Pogba within the United fan base. So, it'll be interesting if he does run down his contract, how, that will be reacted to. But I think we'll know certainly sooner rather than later, because as you know, by the time he gets to January, if he hasn't renewed his contract at United or extended, he can start talking to foreign clubs with a view to signing a contract, which I'm sure Leonardo will be extremely interested in doing so.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, there's over 400 of you here. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitch. You know what I mean? Just get your questions in before we kind of wrap up. Last 5 or 10 minutes. Get your questions in. Someone asking, Messi 10 or 19, do you reckon?
Well, Neymar offered him the number 10 shirt, which he respectfully declined. The latest I've heard today is that he's taking the number 30 shirt, which I believe was his first shirt number at Barcelona. So he's taking the number 30 shirt, I believe.
Oh, brilliant. There you go. Fair play to Neymar for taking that as well. Someone asking thoughts on Ben Arthur's career.
A flawed genius, somebody who didn't make the best of his career, made too many enemies, but someone who is insanely talented, and I believe will look back at his career with some serious regret.
Absolutely. What a player. What an absolute brilliant player. Rafael G says, are PSG interested in Theo Hernandez?
Yes. Yes, as a left back from Milan, there was some issues with, as I spoke earlier, about Bernat, some problems there in terms of whether he'd be fit enough to start the season. PSG's at left back are not great. They sold Mitchell Bakker, young Dutch player, to Bayer Leverkusen. So, and Layvin Kurzawa, as I've heard tonight, is maybe moving on to Nice. Transfer window, so options at left back are very, very short. Whether PSG can strike another deal out, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they can do this on top of Messi and everybody else. But he would certainly be a welcome addition, because left back is probably the last part of the team now, the last piece of the jigsaw. They just need a bit more strength there. So I would certainly welcome a player of that caliber.
Absolutely, absolutely. Stephen Mazza says here, do you think Poch will play 3-4-3 or 4-2-3-1? Oh, that's interesting, that one.
Yeah, I think it will be a mixture. I think PSG have to play in different formations, because you've got to understand is that PSG will probably go with their big guns in Ligue. So when they're playing the likes of Bordeaux, when they're playing the likes of Nantes and Montpellier, they'll be able to field Mbappe, Neymar, Di Maria, Messi, all the big guns, and kind of lose a player in midfield to kind of fit all the big boys in. I do believe that in the Champions League they'll have to play slightly differently, a little bit more defensive minded, if this team could ever play that way. But certainly with an extra midfielder, which may mean that Di Maria may have to miss out certain situations. So I think PSG are going to have to adapt to playing different formations. So I think, as viewers, we'll see a different PSG from week to week.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mr. UZ says, what do you think Mbappe? Who do you think Mbappe to sell to Madrid? 100 million euro, or who could be sold to? And they sign Ronaldo. What do you think? So do you think they'll sell this? I don't think they'll sell him, because they'll just try and keep him, won't they, until his contract runs out. But do you think then Ronaldo could go to PSG somehow if he's available next summer?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I think. Do you know what? That's a really, really good question, actually. And I know it sounds crazy by just mentioning those players in that breath, but it's a really good question. PSG will not sell Mbappe. I think PSG do not want to be shown as a team that would be built by anyone, and that would sell him. I think PSG would rather lose him on a free, sell him to another club, especially a rival club, or a club of the stature of Real Madrid or someone like that. They don't want to be seen in that way. If he wants to go, I think Ronaldo would be an option. I think a dream for them would be to field Ronaldo and Messi in the same team, which would just be, just nuts, insane, crazy.
Again,
crazy.
Saeed,
as we said earlier, I think can think commercially, what that does for the club. I mean, you're
The
bringing
Last
quality,
Dance.
but you're also thinking, yeah, absolutely, playing together. Yeah, for sure. That could happen for a season. I wouldn't put it past Nasser El Khelaifi, as you know, is the main man at PSG.
Yeah, absolutely. And as Ahmed said, do you think Marseille is a dark horse for the season Ligue 1? I mean, the game got abandoned as well, didn't it? I mean, tell the people what happened in that, just quickly, briefly.
Yeah. So, firstly, just about the game itself, Marseille were 2 down. Undeservedly, they started really well the first half hour, found themselves 2 down, and then a Dimitri Payet inspired comeback in the second half. They turned it round. They were winning 3-2, and there was some incidents throughout the game, especially when Marseille were taking corners, where some of the Montpellier fan base were throwing all sorts of bottles. One of them injured midfielder Valentin Rongier, hit him in the lip, cut all his lip up, and shortly after that they did it again, and by then the referee had enough. Referee decided to abandon the game for to abandon the game for a short while. Brought the players out in the end, and I'm sure Montpellier will be investigated in a nice big fight. But going to the original question, yeah, Marseille, if they can, I mean, they've practically bought a brand new whole team with some loan signs as well. I believe that if they can gel them players together, they will be. Yeah, they'll push this season for sure. They've got some good players. They've made some good signings, and they've got a good manager that fits their system and fits that club really, really well. Jorge Sampaoli, the Argentinian. So I do feel that Marseille will be in for a big season this season. I expect them to do a hell of a lot better than they have in recent seasons.
Absolutely, and also Saliba as well. I mean, do you reckon Arsenal might regret that selling? I mean, not selling, but another loan. I mean, what a player Saliba is, and what a debut at right back. I believe he played at right back, didn't he?
Yeah, and this is his versatility. He can play across the whole back line. He can fit in anywhere and do a reasonably good job. I don't know for the life of me, and a lot of people in France don't understand that. This is a guy who's a real emerging talent. Why he didn't get a real chance or a real big stab in the dark, or a real opportunity at Arsenal. It kind of didn't make sense. And there's nobody in that Arsenal backline that's really any better than he is. So it just didn't work for whatever reasons. I'm sure that information will come out in the future. But Arsenal's loss is certainly Marseille's gain, and I can see him probably making a permanent move to Marseille in the near future. But real shame that the Premier League didn't get to see the best of him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's some internal issues going on. I mean, and time will tell whether he kind of that all comes out. So Ashley Collins says here, how many players will leave PSG? Have to let them go to manage their kind of wage bill? I mean, that's a good question there. I know FFP's relaxed, but surely they've got to balance the books, haven't they?
Yeah. Still, I mean, it is relaxed, but still, there has to be a level of. Has to be a level that you stick to and a bit of a threshold there that can't really be crossed. I don't know if it's a case how many players, but more what their wages equate to. So if you take someone like Ander Herrera, who's on £300,000 a week, or
crazy,
you could Levin Kazava, who's probably on the best part of £50,000 a week. So it depends on who the players are that you got that go really, as opposed to how many. But certainly, without a doubt, that good question to Ashley. Certainly for him, I would say that there will be two. I feel there'll be 2 or 3 on the way out before the end of the window.
Absolutely. Itachi says here, do you think Lille will go neck and neck with you guys? Did they draw 3-3 or did they win? I'm sure. Was it 3-3 ended?
It was. So yeah, you're right. It was 3-3. There were 3-1 down with literally 10 minutes left, and Metz were a man down. They had a player sent off, and they put it back with 2 goals in the last 10 minutes. Not this year, and you won't do it this year. The best I can hopeful for me is 3rd.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll do any better than that. They won the title last season, but the reason why they won their title, their manager Christophe Gaultier has left and gone to Nice. He's got new ownership, and he's gone to head up the project down at Nice. So keep an eye on Nice in the next couple of seasons, but not this year. They brought in a guy called Jocelyn Gourvenec, who's let's just say that the fans are not overly happy with, and I don't think that much will come from that season. They'll do well to get maybe a Europa League place.
Yeah. A couple of questions before we wrap up for the hour. Kevin TV says, can France win the World Cup next year under Didier Deschamps? What are your thoughts on Didier Deschamps? Obviously, massively kind of underwhelming Euros. Where do you see the future for him?
They've got everything in place to go and win the World Cup again. They have. I think a few things need to be worked out. I think there were a few issues, personal issues between certain players, ego problems within the squad, which happened prior to the Euros. Their Euro performance was of no surprise to me. I think there was some off-field incidents that affect team cohesion and then the general collective. The squad they've got to iron out. But it wasn't a great performance. But yes, they've got everything in place. They've got the talent. They've got, the coach. The coach won it before. Is a winner. And I do believe that they've got a great chance of winning it next year. But, that remains to be seen. There's a long time before now in the end of 2022. So much can happen. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely.
But certainly they can win it.
Absolutely. We've got a super chat here from Rohan Viax. He goes, do you rate Kakare? I think we talked about that last week, but I don't know these two, and I can't pronounce them. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say Adili, but the rest of them you could have pronounced there because I'll just butcher the names. Me.
No, Kakare, Lacroix, Ali, and Guiri. Yeah, I do. Kakare's a great guy at Lyon. Really good player. Like him a lot. I like Yassin Adli. I know AC Milan have apparently shown an interest for 10 million on him. Really good player, ex PSG, some really good stuff. He is down at Bordeaux, and then Amin Guiri, which was stupidly let go from Monaco, and he's down doing his stuff at Nice, banging the goals. Someone to keep an eye on. Amin Guiri, really good striker, a lot of talent.
Yeah. Absolutely. We've got maybe a couple more questions, and we're going to wrap up. Your thoughts on Draxler giving a new contract? I mean, would they give him a contract after Messi would have came? That's a difficult question to ask, but do you reckon he'll be moved on now? I mean, where does he even fit in this team? That's crazy.
Yeah, so Draxler was a weird one because it looked for so long like he was going to be shipped out, that he was going to go on a free. A little bit, as I've said before, PSG don't really sell players for transfer fees. They'll run down the contracts and they'll go on a free. It looked that way. Pochettino came in, loves Draxler, got a great relationship with him, and he's on a new deal for 3 years. So he's now at PSG for another 3 years. This is even before anything to do with Lionel Messi. I don't know where he fits in. He'll be a squad player, no doubt, but that's literally all we know about Draxler. He's a squad player this year. He will come in. He'll play a lot of his games in Ligue 1. I can't see him starting Champions League games unless there's an injury crisis, but he's very much going to be a squad player this year.
And last question from me. Any kind of outgoings in the French league anyone should look out for? Anyone particular that could be bought that maybe Premier League clubs might be sniffing around? Any latest on any players from the French league? Moving on.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, absolutely. Plays at Rennes. There is Suleimana at Rennes, who's just signed from the Dutch league. I would keep an eye on him. He scored in his debut the other day, winger, and someone that certainly you guys might know, probably seen him in the Euros for Belgium, Jeremy Doku. He's a real tricky winger for Rennes. Yeah, he didn't have a great start to his career last season, but came for a lot of money. But I'm looking forward to seeing him this season and seeing what he can do, certainly. But there's some cracking players, real cracking talent, and one player for newly promoted Clermont, very relatively unknown Ghanaian international called Mohamed Bayo. Scored club's first ever goal in the top flight on Sunday. Real handful, real talent. Mohamed Bayo, check him out for Clermont Foot.
Yeah, a lot of Arsenal fans are asking about Hassan Mawar. Is it a possibility still? It's likely to leave Lyon, or it's just the money? The money. It's just all about the money. Someone coming in for him, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. I think he's, as I said before, with the issues in French football financially, for the other 19 clubs, this is something that's always be open for the right price. Lyon will sell. He's a homegrown talent. They haven't paid any money for him. They'll look to pay. They'll look to recoup some money back on a homegrown talent. Good player, needs to improve on what he did last season. Has talent, has all the ability to to go on and do something good. Yeah, he wouldn't be a bad signing for Arsenal, and probably someone that they could do with.
Absolutely, absolutely. Lee, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for the time and effort you've been showing us and whatnot. You know what I mean?
No problem.
And yeah, it's going to be a very, very good feeling going back to the Parc des Princes. You know what I mean? The fact that you're going to go there and watch Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe play. I mean, I might even have to have a quick trip and meet you in Paris. You know what I mean? Maybe we can make that happen.
You are more than welcome.
Yeah,
anytime you want to come over, Saeed, hit me up, mate. I'll be over there very, very regularly. So anytime you want to come over, mate, I can come and get you in. Come and stand with the ultras.
Ultras, oh bloody hell, even better. I mean,
oh, it's an experience.
I don't mind that, Lee. I don't mind that, Lee. I might come one time, and see what the Paris lifestyle saying. Yeah, man. See Messi
Absolutely.
and Neymar.
Come along anytime.
I'll take that.
Let me know.
Yeah, I will let you know. How about that? Yeah, but people, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Thanks for watching the video. Like the video on your way. Lee, as ever, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can get me on Twitter. That's probably the best place I go to for my football. I talk a lot about football and predominantly French football, but also English football as well. You can get me on _Lee Davey, DAVY, _Lee Davey, DAVEY. Hit me up, guys. Be good to kind of chat with you. I'm very accessible on there. So, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Maybe we might have a Instagram live maybe towards the end of the transfer window. And maybe we could discuss that on Instagram. So, yeah, people, make sure you get locked in for that.
Anytime.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. But people, I would enjoy the video. On your way out, please like the video. And we'll see you tomorrow for a show with Musa at 12 o'clock. And also a tactical show at Wednesday, 6 o'clock. So make sure you go check that out, people. For now, take care. Bye-bye and peace.